Irina Shayk, Cristiano Ronaldo's ex-girlfriend. Back in 2009, Ronaldo met Irina Shayk, a Russian model, and the two quickly started dating. For years, they looked like the perfect celebrity couple. Then in December 2015, the two flew to Dubai for a Christmas vacation. Luxury hotels, private beaches, everything looked perfect. But during that trip, December 31st happened to be Ronaldo's mother's birthday. Ronaldo wanted to leave the vacation early and fly back to Portugal to surprise his mom. Irina didn't want to go. She wanted to stay in Dubai and enjoy the vacation. Now, think about it for a second. If you were in Ronaldo's position, what would you do? Maybe you'd argue for a few hours. Maybe things would calm down later, right? But Ronaldo did something nobody expected. According to multiple reports close to the situation, Ronaldo ended the relationship almost immediately, just because Irina refused to leave the vacation for his mother's birthday. 5 years ended in minutes. And the craziest part? The same mother Ronaldo would later protect more than anyone else in his life, once wanted to abort him before he was born. Not because she hated him, because the family was already collapsing. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most famous athletes in human history, the highest goal scorer football has ever seen, one of the richest athletes on earth, a man followed by over 1 billion people across social media. But behind the fame, behind the money, behind the confidence, was a skinny kid from a tiny island in Portugal, whose family was so poor that he sometimes had to beg restaurant workers for leftover burgers at night just to eat. And somehow, that same kid became Cristiano Ronaldo. On August 21st, 2024, Ronaldo casually announced his YouTube channel. No massive production, no dramatic trailer, just Ronaldo talking to a camera.
What's up, guys? I have a big surprise for you. I have a new YouTube channel.
But what happened next looked unreal. 1 million subscribers in under 2 hours, 10 million in a single day, 50 million in less than a week. The biggest creators on YouTube were shocked because nobody had ever grown that fast before. That's when people started realizing something. Cristiano Ronaldo isn't just a football player anymore. He's one of the most influential humans alive. And honestly, you can see that influence everywhere. In 2021, during a European Championship press conference, 2 Coca-Cola bottles were sitting in front of him. Ronaldo looked at them, slowly moved them aside, picked up a bottle of water, and simply said, "Agua." Water. That's it. One word. But after that moment, headlines exploded around the world, claiming Coca-Cola lost billions in market value. Now, whether people debate the exact number or not doesn't even matter, because the fact that the entire world reacted to one tiny movement already proves the point. Ronaldo's influence had become bigger than football itself. But the strange thing is, none of this was supposed to happen. Cristiano Ronaldo was born on February 5th, 1985, on the island of Madeira, Portugal, a tiny place far away from luxury football stadiums and millionaire lifestyles. His father worked low-paying jobs and struggled badly with alcoholism. His mother worked exhausting cleaning and cooking jobs just to keep food on the table. The family was already drowning financially, and before Ronaldo was even born. His mother genuinely believed another child would destroy them completely. Years later, she openly admitted she had considered abortion because she felt the family simply couldn't survive another mouth to feed. That's how close football came to never seeing Cristiano Ronaldo. But somehow, life moved forward, and as a kid, Ronaldo quickly became obsessed with football. Not interested, obsessed. He played in the streets constantly, sometimes for entire days. Neighbors remembered him as the kid who never wanted to stop playing. But there was another side to him too. Even as a child, Ronaldo absolutely hated losing. He would cry after matches, get angry, throw tantrums. Sometimes teammates didn't even want him around because of how competitive he became. But that emotional intensity would later become his greatest weapon. His father noticed the obsession early. Even though his father struggled personally, he still encouraged Ronaldo's football dream heavily. He worked part-time around a local football club, which gave Ronaldo more exposure to the sport. And eventually, Ronaldo joined local youth teams, where his talent immediately stood out. The speed, the footwork, the confidence. But talent alone wasn't enough to escape poverty. At just 11 years old, Ronaldo made one of the hardest decisions of his life. He left Madeira completely and moved to Lisbon to join Sporting CP's academy. Think about how insane that is. An 11-year-old kid leaving his entire family behind, moving hundreds of miles away, just for a chance at football. No comfort, no safety, no guarantee of success. And honestly, those years nearly broke him. Ronaldo later admitted it was one of the darkest periods of his life. He barely saw his family, sometimes only every few months. And because his Madeira accent sounded different, kids in Lisbon constantly mocked him. He became an outsider immediately, bullied at school, laughed at in class, completely alone. At night, things became even worse. There were times Ronaldo didn't even have enough money for food, so he and his friends would walk behind nearby restaurants late at night, asking workers if they had leftover burgers. Years later, after becoming one of the richest athletes alive, Ronaldo actually tracked down one of the McDonald's workers who used to give him food. That tells you something important. Ronaldo remembers humiliation very deeply, and maybe that's exactly why he became so obsessed with success later. At one point, he almost quit football completely. The loneliness became too much. He wanted to go home, but instead of quitting, Ronaldo made another life-changing decision. He dropped out of school entirely, because deep down, he believed football was his only way out of poverty. And right when things finally seemed to improve, another nightmare appeared. At just 15 years old, Ronaldo was diagnosed with tachycardia, a dangerous heart condition. His heart was beating way too fast, even while resting. Doctors told him surgery was necessary. Imagine hearing that as a teenager whose entire future depends on athletic performance. For most people, that would have ended the dream instantly. But Ronaldo recovered from surgery and returned to training almost immediately. Not carefully, obsessively. That obsession was becoming dangerous now. Teammates later described Ronaldo as someone who trained harder than everyone else combined. Extra practice, extra gym work, extra sprinting, extra shooting drills. If training ended at 5 p.m., Ronaldo stayed until night, and slowly. That obsession started paying off. By 2003, Ronaldo was playing for Sporting CP's first team, and then came the moment that changed his life forever. Sporting played a preseason match against Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and Ronaldo embarrassed them. Manchester United players reportedly walked into the locker room afterward, begging Sir Alex Ferguson to sign him immediately. They had never seen anything like him. The speed looked unnatural, the confidence looked arrogant, but the talent was undeniable. Soon after, Ferguson signed him, and suddenly, the poor kid from Madeira was moving to England. But even there, life didn't magically become easy. Ferguson handed Ronaldo the legendary number 7 jersey, a number previously worn by icons like David Beckham and George Best. The pressure was enormous, and at first, many English fans hated him. They called him selfish, overdramatic, too flashy. Some people genuinely thought he would fail, but criticism only made Ronaldo more obsessed. While teammates relaxed, Ronaldo trained. While others partied, Ronaldo trained. There are stories about teammates waking up at night and finding Ronaldo already inside the gym. Because for Ronaldo, football wasn't entertainment anymore. It was survival. By 2008, everything exploded. Goals, Champions League trophies, Ballon d'Or awards. Cristiano Ronaldo had officially become a global superstar. And then came another massive decision. In 2009, he joined Real Madrid for a world record transfer fee. The pressure became almost impossible to imagine. Over 80,000 fans showed up just to watch his stadium presentation. That's not normal sports fandom, that's cultural obsession. And at Real Madrid, Ronaldo transformed completely. This is where the machine version of Ronaldo truly appeared. Perfect physique, perfect routines, perfect discipline. His life became engineered around winning. Every calorie mattered, every workout mattered, every recovery session mattered. And then there was Messi. The Messi versus Ronaldo rivalry became one of the biggest competitions in sports history. And honestly, that rivalry may have created the most dangerous version of Ronaldo possible. Because Ronaldo wasn't naturally relaxed like Messi. Ronaldo was emotional, driven by comparison, driven by criticism, driven by insecurity. You could almost feel him trying to prove himself constantly. That's why millions of people connected with him emotionally. Because Ronaldo didn't feel untouchable, he felt human, like someone forcing himself into greatness through obsession. But fame also brought darkness, tax investigations, media attacks, constant controversy. At one point, Ronaldo admitted 2018 was one of the hardest years of his life mentally. And then came the allegations and lawsuits that completely dominated headlines. Whether people believed him or defended him, the pressure around him became massive. That's the part people forget about celebrity. At Ronaldo's level, you stop being treated like a person. You become a permanent global headline. Every expression gets analyzed. Every rumor becomes news. Every mistake becomes international drama. And somehow, through all of it, Ronaldo kept scoring, kept training, kept winning. That level of mental endurance is honestly terrifying. But maybe the strangest thing about Ronaldo isn't football at all. It's business. Because Ronaldo understood something most athletes never understand. Attention is more valuable than talent. Long before most celebrities even understood social media properly, Ronaldo was building CR7 into a global brand. Fitness, fashion, luxury lifestyle, hotels, gyms, perfumes, underwear, recovery products. Everything connected back to one image: Cristiano Ronaldo, the disciplined machine. And one of his smartest moves happened quietly in the background. Ronaldo began taking serious control over his image rights very early, not just to protect his name, but to turn himself into a global business empire. While most athletes only focused on sports, Ronaldo was thinking like a corporation. And that mindset changed everything, especially in Asia. Over time, Ronaldo became insanely popular in countries far outside traditional football culture. China, India, South Korea, Iran, and now in our America, it's on peak because of FIFA World Cup 2026. His fan base exploded globally, sometimes reaching almost movie star levels of obsession. When Ronaldo traveled to certain countries, crowds literally chased his bus through the streets. At airports, thousands waited just to see him walk for a few seconds. That's not sports fandom anymore. That's global celebrity power. And Ronaldo understood how to use it perfectly. He realized most followers didn't even care about football itself. They cared about the lifestyle, the body, the discipline, the confidence, the luxury. So he built content around those emotions. That's why Ronaldo became bigger than just an athlete. He became aspiration. And underneath all the fame, his family still remained the emotional center of his life, especially his father. In 2005, Ronaldo's father died from alcohol-related health problems. Ronaldo was only 20 years old, and years later, he admitted one of his biggest regrets was that his father never truly got to see how successful he became. That pain clearly never left him. Maybe that's why Ronaldo became so protective of his mother afterward, because family, for Ronaldo, was always connected to struggle, to survival, to sacrifice. And today, even after all the records, all the trophies, all the money, Ronaldo still trains like someone trying to escape poverty. That's the strange thing about obsession. Even after you win, your mind still feels like you're losing. And maybe that's the real story of Cristiano Ronaldo. Not talent, not football, obsession. Because deep down, Cristiano Ronaldo was never just chasing trophies. He was chasing escape. Escape from humiliation. Escape from weakness. Escape from the scared kid begging for burgers behind restaurants at night. And maybe that's exactly why the world became obsessed with him too. Now tell me, what is the one thing that you most like or dislike about Ronaldo? Subscribe for more football story, an update about FIFA World Cup 2026.